that Super Bowl championship thing. Cornerback is a very important position, and I just wouldn't be that confident, going in there, just, the start of training camp saying, yeah, Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams are our two starting cornerbacks, two guys who are known to get injured. And, we have we signed a real good nickel, but I want to keep him in the nickel. I like a lot of what I see out of Newsome here, and I feel like some NFL level coaching will only help him, and his ability to play the press which is what we do a lot. I don't know. I would take this dude here with what I have left on my board. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, look, watching secondary film for draft
is like porn for you.
Yeah, is absolutely my favorite part of this entire process. I gotta say, like, in looking at my notes for corner prospects, like, he didn't make my list as somebody, like, because I make a top 10. And what I try to do is I try to look at not only talent, but also like where guys are going, where we can get them, right? So for me, it's also about value. Because I think if we draft a corner, especially this year, we could see that corner being the fourth corner on our team, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. For me, drafting Newsome 26 is too high for me. I like the kid. I think he has incredible talent. I have guys going in the fourth round that are in my top 5.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
And so I would just say that, like, he absolutely has more talent than some of my guys on my top 10 list. But at the same time, it would be hard for me to not draft one of my guys if they are there and Newsome's on the board.
You gonna say his name or not?
I'm not gonna say his name.
No, go ahead and say it, because I hear it every freaking cornerback conversation. Just go ahead and get it out.
Well, there's two, but I'm gonna say you're talking about Ifeatu Melifonwu.
Yeah, there it is.
Is Andrew Berry's guy. I mean, this isn't even my guy. Well, okay, I put him on my guy list, but I really pick him because Andrew Berry showed us something. DePodesta showed us something when they drafted Greedy Williams, and they showed us what type of corner they would like to see on this team. And I just feel like Melifonwu fits that to the T. I want to move on, though. You got the Ravens at 27 picking the edge rusher out of Georgia, Azeez Ojulari. Then you got Kadarius Toney going to the Saints, the receiver out of Florida.
I love that pairing, by the way. It's a shame that Drew Brees is retired for that.
And it seems very Saints to me to pick up Toney. Then you got Elijah Moore going to Green Bay, which is a huge surprise for me, but maybe they're stacking up for that next quarterback that comes in. You got Barmore going to Buffalo, which tells me something, because Barmore came to you at 26 and you decided not to pick him up. I think that was an incredibly smart move. You want to tell me more?
Just, I think the value and need at the cornerback position is much more pressing and important than another defensive lineman. It's not the sexiest, but like, I like the 2 D tackles that we have penciled in to start. Elliott, a guy that we took in the 3rd last year, I'm expecting a lot from him. And I feel that, you know what I mean? If we didn't have the need at cornerback that I feel we do, I would have no problem taking him. I mean, if he's still the pick, I'm still going to be happy. You know what I mean? Come draft day. I just feel, in my opinion, that cornerback's more pressing, and I like a lot about Greg Newsome.
Yeah, it feels like you finally were paying attention to what I was telling you for the last 2 months. Next, you got Baltimore with that trade.
My shit. Don't you take credit for my shit.
You got Baltimore with that trade at 31, picking up a tackle out of USC.
I think he's actually more of a guard, but
I'm going to say Aliha Vera Tucker.
Elijah.
Elijah, thank you.
Wow.
Then you got your boy, another D tackle going to the Bucks. Levi, and I'm not going to attempt that. You want to go for it? I know you say it in your dreams every night, so go ahead.
Levi Onwuzurike.
You've really liked this guy. I guess we'll finish this conversation. Tell me why you like this kid going to.
I see a first round pick in this guy. I really do. I know people are down on D tackle this year, but everything I see from this guy is checks every box that I want in a first round pick, and you know. I would probably expect him to be more of a second round pick, but at number 32 there, you're pretty much, you know what I mean, a second round pick, except for the fact you have the ability to have a 5th-year option on you. Tampa Bay does not have a lot of needs. You know, they've pretty much kept their entire Super Bowl roster intact, which is unbelievable. So why not take a guy, you know what I mean, that doesn't need to come in and start right away. And now not only do you have somebody you could groom, but you also tack in that 5th-year option. I like what Tampa Bay has the ability to do here.
And that wraps up your mock draft. I would just want to finish by saying, like, in looking over your mock draft, what do you see as the biggest reach?
Probably Trevor Lawrence at number 1.
Why do you say that?
No, I'm joking.
I call him Sunshine.
We can just
call
him
Sunshine.
I think he's going to be special.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because, like, you know, you watch these mock drafts and that's just that specific person who's mocking's, you know what I mean, draft board. There's always going to be stuff here. I'd probably say for me personally, I hope we don't end up drafting this guy and then I have to freaking kind of like be a hypocrite and just start spewing out about why he's great. I don't see how Jason Owe is a first-round pick at all. They look at his pro day speed at a 4.2. I'm calling total, or a 4.3. I'm calling absolute bullshit on that speed, right? I am calling absolute bullshit on that speed. I am not impressed with anything I've seen out of this guy. No offense to him personally, but come on. You're in college and you have no career set. You're at Penn State. That's like the defensive, you know, holy grail for freaking college. And I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite because, yes, I am in support of us signing Jadeveon Clowney, who also had no sacks last year. This guy is not Jadeveon Clowney.
No. I would say this. You got 2 huge reaches, and I can't believe you didn't mention it. I don't care how much you like Zaven Collins. I do not see him going 14. The other one for me is Pittsburgh drafting a center in the first round. I don't see it.
If I was able to draft a kicker in the first round on PFF.
Yeah, I see them going with that running back out of Alabama, but I think everybody kind of sees that happening.
If Pittsburgh goes running back, they just had their center retire and they lost their starting right tackle. And if they draft running back there, as a team that has to play them with that aging piece of shit quarterback.
Oh, I'm going to love it.
I am licking my fucking chops.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, run the ball on us, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, I agree, but I see that's where they're going. All right, I want to get to my guys' list. We've been talking about this for the last 4 months, and so I am excited to get to this. These are the guys, my guys list that we're going to be absolutely following more than anybody else across the 3 days of the draft. And so I am excited to let you know who I am paying attention to. And I hope JR started getting out of the first round because, Coat, you had like 5 or 6 first rounders in your My Guys list.
I know.
That's going to be a boring 6 rounds after that day one. So Do you want to start or do you want to hear my list first?
Let's see your list first, because I totally forgot we were doing this, and I have to go back through like 500 conversations of my guys' list.
No, I couldn't find it. So I had to sit down here and I had to come
I
up with
totally
what I
forgot we were covering
believe.
this, so you caught me a little unprepared. Good for you. Nice move there.
All right. First, of course, Caleb Farley. I've been talking about him for months. I think he's the number one corner in this draft. It is one of my favorite positions. The only position that I rate over corner is safety. And yet, if you look at my list, I don't have a single safety on here. And it tells you how much I've been looking at cornerbacks in this draft. I just think corner has a lot more talent in this draft than safety. I probably could have thrown in a guy like Morig, but I didn't see it. Like I like the corners in this draft better. I think Caleb Farley's the number one corner in this draft. Two, another guy I've been talking about since I don't know about February, Gregory Rousseau. I like him. His pro day was difficult to deal with, but I can't get away from the tape that I watched on the kid. Number three, another corner I've been talking about since at least February, Israel Mukuamu. I mean, I really, really like this kid. I think we could get him at a good value pick. He was opposite of J.C. Horn, which tells me he was thrown at a hell of a lot. And yet here he is getting drafted in the fourth round, even though he had an incredible season. Or couple seasons. I shouldn't say his last season because he did actually take a step back in 2020. For Demetric Felton, when I saw this kid,
And this is some bullshit.
Hey,
Patrick Felton.
All right, tell me.
You sent me a highlight thing just because all you did was Google Brown's draft rumors, and you saw that we had interviewed this kid. So you sent me his film, and I felt just as much in love with him as you did. And it's just not fair to really label him as your guy. You didn't really discover him. We kind of found him around the same time. And this guy should be off the list, in my opinion.
Hey, it's okay if we have one guy that is both of our guys. It is okay.
Well, it's not. I'm just saying. You when I was giving out my list, you told me I had to remove him.
I did show him to you. All right, number 5, Ronnie Perkins, this edge rusher out of Oklahoma, I think is going to be special. 6, Ifeatu Melifonwu is going to be our second round draft pick. I also have Lenore. I couldn't figure out his first name. I'm sure I could Google it, but I was being lazy. This corner out of Oregon could go undrafted, and I think we absolutely should consider picking this kid up, even though he doesn't have the size. I think, he's shorter than even Denzel Ward, but at the same time, like I just saw a lockdown corner. I think you have to have guys that can play zone. You have to have guys that can play man to man, and those aren't always the same guys. And having a guy you can turn to on the bench to say, come in, play lockdown man to man on this specific wide receiver, I think Lenore fits that bill really well. I think he would be somebody who could grow into being a lockdown guy on somebody like Tyreek Hill. I absolutely love this kid. And to get him in the 7th round or even after the draft, because he goes undrafted. All right, now I go to a couple first rounders.
Oh,
Number
God.
8 for me is this Notre Dame linebacker, man. J.O.K.
First rounder.
Yeah.
He sprinkled around there.
Hey, he was my only first rounder for a long time, but I have fallen in love with J.O.K. J.O.K. is the best linebacker for today's NFL. Number 9, I did put a defensive tackle on my list. Marvin Wilson out of Florida State looks special. And hey, this one's for you, JR. Number 10, Justin Fields, baby. I think Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback that comes out of this draft.
Okay. All right. Well, those are your guys.
These are my guys, man. This is who I am paying attention to.